There are 105 lawmakers in the South Dakota legislature. Roughly a third of them are women.
And this session marks a century since the first woman served in the state legislature. Tonight, we learn about the woman behind the milestone. At first glance, you may not notice anything out of the ordinary in this 1923 photo of the South Dakota House of Representatives.
There's this sea of men.
But if you take a moment, you'll notice there's a lone woman pictured. That's Gladys Pyle. The late Huron native became the first woman to serve in the South Dakota legislature.
I never felt picked on. Of course, some of the men opposed what I wanted. I think the controversial things that I introduced were requiring women to serve on juries because I felt that women had a right to a trial by their peers.
Women weren't allowed to serve on juries in the state until the late 1940s. Pyle went on to make more history. She was the first woman elected as Secretary of State in South Dakota.
It kind of started this notion that women can be elected officials in the state, specifically Secretary of State. And after Gladys, there is this long line of woman Secretary of States in South Dakota. So she kind of started that process.
It's not a surprise Pyle was a trailblazer. In an interview with KELOLAND News, she described her parents as pioneers.
And I couldn't very well be anything else.
Many years later, that's how she's being remembered.
I like that story.
Yeah, and I love that laugh at the end.
A little giggle, yeah.
Yeah, fun to go through that old stuff. Well, Pyle was also the first woman elected to the U.S. Senate without being previously appointed. Now, there's much more audio from Pyle on the South Dakota State Historical Society's website. We have a link in this story on KELOLAND.com.
Now, also on our website, digital reporter Ray Yost spoke with several current women lawmakers about what has changed in the last 100 years for women in the legislature.